Hi beautiful people, welcome back to another amazing tutorial. Guys, this is a very interesting one because in this video I'll be showing you how I made this lovely fondant custom toppers for kids cake. So let's get started. So guys, the first thing you want to do is you want to simply go online to Google and type out the name of the superhero cake you want to make along with cutouts. Okay, for instance, if you want to make a Spider-Man cake, you simply want to search for Spider-Man topper cutout or Spider-Man printable Spider-Man cutout, and then when you search for this, you're bound to see a whole lot of options. So you want to take your time to select every single character that you want to display on your cake. Now, after you've done this, you want to download them to your phone or your laptop, depending on what you're using. And then you want to take them to a cyber cafe, or if you have a printer at home, you can print them on a card paper. Guys, it's important to use a card paper, which is a stronger type of paper compared to the regular A4 paper, because you want to be able to cut it easily without it tearing on you. You also want to be able to use it as a template, so it has to be as strong as possible. Now, one tricky thing I have observed is the sizing. Guys, these toppers do not need to be big. In actual sense, when you look at the toppers on your computer or on your phones, they tend to look really big. Okay, so when you want to print, you cannot print them just the way they appear. You need to shrink them to the size that is required. I advise or recommend that you use Corel Draw for this, and if you cannot use Corel Draw, simply go to a cyber cafe and ask a professional to help you resize them. Now, the sizes that are usually reasonable for regular sized cakes are from like 2 inches to 4 inches to 5 inches, depending on how big the cake is and depending on how big you want each topper to appear on your cake. For this particular cake, guys, I used 2 to 3 inches in diameter for the round ones, and then for the ones that appear longer, I use 3 inches in length. Okay, so take note of that so you don't end up printing toppers that appear too big in real life but look small on picture. Guys, after you have printed these toppers out, you want to take your time to cut them. Okay, cutting them is another tricky part. You want to make sure that you use a very sharp, either it's scissors, depending on what you're cutting. There are some intricate, details that requires you to use a craft knife or a razor blade that you can't actually use the scissors for. So guys, make sure that you are using the right tool for each of the toppers you're cutting. So you want to cut them out and then use them as templates, as you can see me doing in the video. This is actually very simple as long as you're able to get, a very good cutout. That's the precise character you want in form of cutouts, paper cutouts, and then you're able to cut them out into fondant. So guys, the next step is to make sure that you have sufficient fondant for this process. Guys, you want to make sure that you have set out, or will I say you've outlined the number of colors and the specific colors that your characters contain. Okay, then you want to paint or color your fondant to these colors. For instance, if you're working on a flash cake, which was what I was working on in this video, you can notice that I have yellow, I have red, I have black. Okay, these are like the major colors in this particular character cake. So you want to make sure that you paint your fondant to these colors, making sure you look at what is required. For instance, guys, for this particular cake, I needed more of red. Okay, so a huge chunk of my fondant was painted red. I needed quite a quantity of yellow as well, and just a very little piece of black. So after having these details, I was able to walk around it, and I painted just a little bit of my fondant black, and then the other colors just like I require. Okay, so make sure you take note of that. So guys, if you would like me to show you how I cut out my toppers for this particular cake, or maybe another cake entirely, if you have any superhero character that you're having difficulty figuring out how to get your fondant toppers from, please do leave a comment in the comment section and I would attend to them as soon as I can. Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't even realize that my phone had stopped recording at a point, so I wasn't really able to capture, the entire process. But simply, what I did was after cutting out this specific superhero toppers, I cut out another round fondant. Okay, this one has to be thicker because this is the one you're gonna place those cut toppers on. For instance, this Superman topper. What I did was I cut a round piece of white fondant that is just as wide as this purple cup that you can see on the screen. Okay, it has to be slightly wider than the topper itself. And then when you have cut this out, you want to now place the topper on it. This is what you're going to place on your cupcakes or on your main cake, depending on where you're using this. So guys, the next thing you want to do is you want to leave your fondant to set. Okay, it has to dry firm before you're able to use it. So I advise that you do this days in advance before you're ready to maybe deliver your cake or use your toppers. So guys, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, do leave them in the comment section. I'll be more than glad to attend to them all. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video if you found this helpful, and turn on the notification bell because that means you will be one of the first people to get my videos whenever they drop. Bye guys.